This man has a firm grip on the dog's mouth. He'd rather suffocate it than let it make a sound. The man does this to save it, because behind them is a huge monster. The monster just left. Joel kept comforting the poor puppy. However, when the puppy saw the red dress that was blown to the river by the wind, the puppy ran out of Joel's arms. Joel tried to stop it, but the dog ran straight into the river. Sure enough, after hearing the noise, the monster turned back again. Joel, despite being angry, had no choice. He could only rush out to save the puppy. He found a grenade in his backpack, but he was so nervous that the grenade fell on the ground again. The monster was approaching them at 80 miles an hour. The monster is pretty awesome and catches the grenade in one bite. These monsters are not an alien species, but creatures of Earth. It happened 7 years ago when an asteroid hit the Earth. Humans launched countless missiles to protect themselves. The asteroid was successfully destroyed, but the massive amount of radioactive poison produced by the explosion caused the cold-blooded animals on Earth to undergo evolutionary mutations. All the animals became very large, and snails became reddish-white, and the man-eating hairy crabs were bigger than mountains. Even jellyfish can float in the air. From then on, humans became the most delicious endangered species in the eyes of monsters. In just less than a year, humans went 95% extinct. The last remaining humans had to hide underground to survive. Although Joel had just defeated a monster on his own, but he's actually quite timid. When faced with a monster several times his size, he was often stiff and trembling, but one day he made a bold decision. He wanted to go alone to find his girlfriend in another city. Ever since his parents lost their lives when a giant spider stepped on them, Joel has been an orphan ever since. The only thing he had left was his girlfriend, but when he walks into a rundown house looking for food, he was scared shitless by the monster in the fridge and fled the house in a hurry. Just when he thought he was safe, an eye suddenly appeared in a peaceful pond. It turned out to be a mutated, colorful toad. The toad spat out its 80-foot tongue. Joel turned and tried to escape, but the tongue stuck to his heel. He could only watch as he became the monster's lunch. Suddenly a puppy came out of nowhere and bit the toad's tongue. The toad could only retract his tongue after escaping the toad's attack. To repay the puppy for saving his life, Joel decided to take it with him to continue his journey. But on the way, he accidentally fell into a deep pit. The dog tries to save him, but there's nothing it can do. However, the pit turned out to have biting monsters. Joel was saved again. He was really very lucky. It turned out to be Clyde and Mino who saved him. Both of them have rich survival skills in the wild. Looking at Joel's clumsy appearance, both were shocked by his courage to take risks. Just in the few days that the three traveled together, Clyde taught him the weaknesses of each monster. He also told him which herbs can cure poison. Mino even taught him how to shoot. Joel was so gifted that after only 2 or 3 days of training, he was able to hit the target accurately. A few days later they parted ways. Joel had to continue his journey alone, but his journey was still fraught with danger.